We all struggle with taking tests. Taking tests can cause a lot of anxiety. Just signing up for the test can cause people anxiety. Fortunately, there are ways we can get better at taking tests. We weren't born naturally good test takers. For me, I've taken a lot of tests, but I've had to spend a lot of time practicing and understanding like the techniques that people use to write the test. So understanding how to like dissect the question. Because often when you read the question, there's a bunch of like superfluous garbage in there. So if you understand the tactics, how to get rid of that garbage and only like understand the true question, that makes taking tests easier. And then for answers, typically people will throw in distracting answers. So if you can eliminate two of the distractors, then you've got a 50% chance of getting the question right. Fortunately, in cybersecurity, for almost every certification out there, there is test prep software and test question banks. So you can go over questions and questions and questions in practice. That combined with understanding some of the tactics for taking tests can really help you pass that exam. It's really about practice though. A lot of people make the mistake. They'll read the book for a cybersecurity certification. They'll do their best to prepare and they actually know the material very well, but they haven't taken practice tests. So when they go take the exam, they typically don't do very well because they're caught off guard the way the material is put on the exam and brought to light in the form of a question. So it's important you know the material, obviously, but it's actually more important you understand how questions are going to be asked to you of that material. And an example would be, a lot of people try to go too in the weeds. And if you understand things at a very high level, you can often get the questions right before going very deep. An example would be if they ask you on a certification exam a question about hashing, like which hash algorithm has not been compromised, and let's say on the answers they list SHA-1, MD5, SHA-512, and AES. Well, AES, for instance, is not a hash algorithm. So if you just understand AES is encryption, you can eliminate that automatically. So just understanding like from a high level where things fit in. And I think a lot of people kind of go straight to the lowest level. But if you understand like, here's a list of hashing protocols, here's a list of encryption protocols, here's a list of the encryption protocols that are symmetric, here's the ones that are asymmetric. If you understand things at that level, you can almost always, if there's a question about one of those topics, get it down to like two answers, and then probably guess the right one. But at least you can get it down to two, which greatly increases your chance of passing the test. At Alpine Security, if you take one of our boot camps, we know taking tests is a source of anxiety for a lot of people. So we include a 30-day subscription to test preparation software. So you can practice every day for 30 days taking tests before you go take the real exam. We also go over questions in the class. So we'll walk through a question with a trainer in the class. We'll show you the distracting answers. We'll show you how they add the fluff in the question itself. So you get some practice dissecting the questions and dissecting the answers. And that's really what helps you become a better test taker, is that practice and that awareness of what sort of tactics people use to throw you off on the test. The bottom line is we all have anxiety about taking tests. It's worth asking yourself, what is this anxiety about test costing me? Because a lot of us, we have so much anxiety about taking tests that we don't ever sign up for a test because we're afraid of not passing the exam. So this fear is causing inaction towards something that can help make our lives better. It's important to get over that fear and know that there are ways to improve your test taking skills, because once you get over that fear, once you pass that cybersecurity certification exam, that will give you more opportunities, because it typically opens up more opportunities for you for a better job at your current employer, a job with a new employer, a job at a new industry, or maybe a completely different career field altogether. But getting over that anxiety and taking that first step is critical. You're capable more than you think you are. I'm sure that you can pass a cybersecurity certification exam. You can take a boot camp to prepare you for the exam and practice those questions, practice the test, and improve your test taking skills and pass the exam. I hope to see you in one of our cybersecurity certification boot camps. And if you choose just to take the test on your own, that's great as well. Best of luck to you.